Hello and welcome to EMO 2025 and welcome to the Hwacheon stand. I'm here with Klaus, who's a font of knowledge, knows everything about Hwacheon. So we're going to start with the congratulations. 80 years.
First of all, welcome at Hwacheon Bruce here. Yes, and indeed, our company is now 80 years old. It started all with foundry and now we end up with high-tech machines this year, celebrating it with a special sales on the Catex 180 and the High-Tech 230, as well as vertical machining center, which we newly introduced. And I believe customers and our partners selling the machines, they will have a good time in doing it because the numbers have already gone up by this promotion.
Good. I've been looking forward to seeing a number of machines on the on your booth. Mm-hmm. This has got to be a highlight. This turn mill turn style machine, the i2. First time I've seen it. I know it's been seen elsewhere in the world by MTD CNC, but this is the first time we've previewed this in Europe.
It's the first time in Europe, first time in Germany, of course, as well. It has been long expected that we bring a B-axis machine, as we all say to it. So the i2 indeed is the latest, newest design for Hwacheon. It comes in different versions, of course. We can have a B-axis indexing 15 degree, or the simultaneously controlled. Then we have a full 5-axis capable machine. We don't call it a sub-spindle. It is a real copy of the main spindle, so spindle 1 and spindle 2. Incredibly, with 467 Newton meter of torque, each of them, so which sets it apart from our competition.
Absolutely. If we talk about the spindle itself, nice and compact, which is important because of the swing.
Sure.
It looks like a HSK spindle.
It's a HSK T63 in the standard version, but as an option we can have also the Cup to C6.
Sure. And if we look at the tool changer, I like the fact it's at the front of the machine, easily accessible for operators. They're not going around the back or the side of the machine.
Definitely, it's standard in a 30 position, optionally 80, and for sure customers later on will come maybe asking for 120 or even more.
It's never enough, is it? They always want more.
Never enough. But you had a good point in easy accessibility, and this is also here the design of the machine is made that we only have exactly 490 millimeter to the main spindle. So the operator doesn't have to lean in. It is very easy and comfortable to operate.
Sure, and these machines, obviously, it's technology advanced. It's potentially some complex components with long cycle times, so thermal stability becomes a big factor.
Absolutely. In having such a complex machine, we have to make sure that the temperature is under control, or the temperature grows practically then. So the ball screws are liquid cooled, the main spindles are liquid cooled, and of course the B-axis spindle as well.
Sure, so that covers the brief talk on the hardware, but how about the software? First time I've seen the Harmony control.
Well, here this machine comes the first time now with the Harmony. So it's a user surface which we have designed for a very modern and easy access. Practically everything is app-based, so to say, like your mobile phone.
Mm-hmm. Which is important because obviously there's a lot of young engineers coming into the sector now. We need more, but there's a lot of young engineers.
Yeah.
It's the iPad generation, isn't it? Don't be pressing buttons.
Absolutely.
Swiping and touching.
And that is why you see here only a handful of buttons actually, which can control the feed rates or things like this. Everything else is built in this. And we have, of course, developed software like the H-Draw, where you really easily can draw your workpiece and then the CAD can realize practically everything inside.
Sure, but we've been trying to get to this machine for an hour. It's been covered with lots of people coming to see the machine tool, so it's obviously going to be a popular model.
We hope so, of course. I mean, the B-axis machine is for a long time in the market already, and it was about time that we also come up one. We had a couple of years actually our i3. There will be also bigger, smaller models coming in future.
Sure. And now a completely different style of machine. We've gone from a highly complex mill turn mill to the AF-4, which is, let's call it a traditional machine.
This is a traditional, well, not so traditional probably. is a horizontal machining center with a pallet changer which can change the pallets, can be integrated in a line or in a cell. And particularly this machine is really for higher volume production, okay? 60-meter rapid, very fast acceleration, deceleration with spindles up to 20,000 RPM, which gives then the customer really a good platform and a very compact platform as well to really produce this part. We see here very good part, a very particular part from the semicon industry is a so-called chamber, which is really machined out of a solid block and it comes down finished.
The first thing I notice is the size of the workpiece and the capability.
Yeah.
Again, a twin pallet machine, but
Yeah.
you'd be forgiven for not knowing that because it's such a small footprint.
Correct. I mean, look, the footprint is becoming expensive in the factory. But the same is also for the transportation. So we have to make sure now really our machine become more compact and don't have unnecessary air, so to say, inside.
So when we look at that style of machine, obviously the automotive sector traditionally bought a lot of those machines.
Yeah.
That's in a bit of stress at the moment. So you mentioned, I think, semiconductor there. Is that the types of companies that are now buying them?
Yeah, sure. I mean, semiconductor industry, chip making, and this is where the chamber practically is then used. This is the big business where, since a long time, mobile phones.
Sure.
And every little drone has a little chip inside, so you need to produce it.
Absolutely. Now for something completely different, the Mega 72. This style of machine, very, very popular around the world really. It's well built, heavy construction as you'd expect from a Hwacheon.
Of course, Hwacheon is always well known for a good hardware, a good design, since we make everything ourselves. But typically the mega machines are used for heavy duty parts, mining industry, oil and gas, aerospace, shipbuilding. This is actually the smallest version out of it. We are going up to a maximum diameter, workpiece diameter of 2.6 meter.
Wow.
And a total length of up to 17 meter.
Incredible.
So these are really, really heavy duty machines.
Absolutely. And obviously it's got the manual element along with the popular Siemens control.
And that is what the customers actually, or the operators looking for. They know how to operate a manual machine, and this is practically kept in the way operating a manual, but with a CNC control. Can be a Siemens or a funnel.
Sure. And how about, is there any attachments you can put there, potentially any grinding attachments? Or
Grinding attachments, steady rest, of course, of various types and forms. We can remove or exchange this tool post to a turret, you can have 12 stations. So there's a lot of options.
Very flexible, very capable machine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like perfect for the oil and gas industry, not exclusively, obviously lots of other, anyone making large components really.
Sure.
And I've seen a lot of this machine's predecessor, I believe it's the 700, this is the 750,
Correct.
So new and improved.
Well, our high-tech line is anyway, I would say, our base and good machine line, starting from the high-tech 200 up to the high-tech 850. So the 750 and the smaller 650 are the latest models which we have designed. They are coming in different chuck sizes, different spindle bores, as well as different lengths. There's always a short version, a long version as we see here, or the XL.
On here, the first thing, well, there's two things I noticed, just the sheer size of it. Everything's bigger, the ways are big, and it's a quite a unique construction as well.
Is thanks that you bring the guideways into the picture. Looking at it, there you see already compared to our competitors, our guideways are always much more wider. Look at this, how wide they are and solid. And that is why we make our machines ourselves. We machine these guideways, we harden the guideways, and we hand scrape it ourselves.
Very good.
So hand scraping on a machine like this makes the machine extra.
Absolutely. And just looking at, obviously we can have y-axis and things, again, just the size of it, huge. Very stable.
It's, look at the boring bar up there. In a machine like this, we can mount a boring bar with up to 120 millimeter and a total length of 1.6 meter. And still we can rotate our turret. This is also a big difference compared to the competitor.
Sure. And how about the bore size on this machine?
There's the version, the BB version. We can go up to 300 millimeter or even 375 millimeter on some machines.
Fantastic. I keep saying this, don't I? Another highlight. But another highlight on this stand is the D2. I'd class this as a 5-axis machining cell.
Yeah. That is what we call a machining cell, production cell. High mix, low volume. That is the key point what customers are looking for. If you look at the AWC, you will see that there's either the same parts or different parts. Every station can have a different part. For the machine, it doesn't matter.
I think that's important, this conception, and we still have it today, where maybe I need 150, 300, 1,000 components to justify an AWC. That's not the case, is it? Because you can set up a pallet for one part, and when that job comes back, it's already set on the pallet, 2 minutes and you're away.
Exactly. So you have somewhere probably in your workshop a little bench where you prepare the workpieces on the tool holder and then just put it into it.
Yeah. And in terms of control, we're looking at the 31i, the popular Fanuc control, but obviously you've got your own also.
This models is always defined. It's either the 0i, which is then 4-axis, or if you have the 31i, then it's a full 5-axis. Spindle, very important. The spindle is always the heart of the machine. 12,000, 14, 20, 24,000 RPM. Depending on the application, what the customer is doing, we can select the machine right fitting to him.
Yeah, that's really good actually, because obviously if you're a general subcontractor, maybe you're going to go for a 12K spindle with lots of torque, but potentially if you're making some smaller components, medical industry components where you need lots of RPM, you go for the faster spindle.
Not only this, it's also the different material. It's a difference whether I have aluminium, I have steel, maybe stainless steel, titanium, Inconel. All these materials today, customer need to cater for it.
Sure, and just finally on the control, is it Harmony available?
The Harmony is optionally available, especially again with all the functions. It improves and it shortens the time of downtime.
Sure. And just finally, I'd like to finish on some of these components. I think a majority have been manufactured on the previous machine, but obviously we've got, so it looks like medical components are very well known, aerospace component also.
Yeah, here, for example, where this component is made out of a solid block, titanium, and comes out practically in the finished setup. Mold and die is still a smaller industry now everywhere, but it is still a very important industry where you need not only accuracy but surface quality. And I like to show you also the shower head. It's nothing to do with our shower when we go into the bathroom. That is used in the semicon industry, and maybe if you have the time you can count the holes as totally 3,600 holes.
Klaus, I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
But just finally, just to wrap up for the viewers at home, tell me a bit more about Hwacheon. How are you seeing the market? I've seen a big step change. Your innovation levels are increasing.
Yeah, I mean, look, as a manufacturer in the machinery industry today, you have to catch up and you have to be alerted. So that means we are looking with our partners to the industry, to the economies, how it is changing. And accordingly, our machines must adapt to it. So this is always a very challenging point. But since we talked about Harmony, this is definitely one point which will help our machines to get more into the market and be recognized.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on the anniversary and the latest innovations.
Sure.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you all at home for watching.